Chromatic shredding. Hey, my name is Kamit. In this video, we're going to go over some ways to implement chromatic shredding, how to add chromatic notes and make them sound good and right instead of just a disgusting mess. And every new technique that we uncover here will just improve on the one that came before it. So we'll start from the basics and build up. First, let's turn the oven on. There we go. Never shred on an empty stomach. Let's get to it. The Pentatonic Way is a classic. So what we're doing here is we're taking the pentatonic in 3 different positions and play that same basic melody on all 3 of them. But why does this chromatic move work? If we'll take a look at our pentatonic scale, the very first position, this note is called the blue note. And in the first position, you can find it here and here as well. So the first position of the pentatonic scale with the added blue notes sounds like this. So these blue notes, mainly used in blues and jazz, actually give us a bluesy feeling when playing them. And this lick is actually pretty easy because it's based on a specific sequence, a picking pattern. And the pattern is like so. We start by picking the first 4 notes. And then we pick the next 4 notes, but starting from the second note. And so on and so forth. In this specific lick, we play it 4 times and then switch positions. But you could potentially play this pattern throughout the whole scale. And that's it. Pretty basic, but sounds sweet when used right. So this is another very basic approach we need to cover before we can get to the other 2. So this lick is played on the A flat minor scale, and we start it right here. String 5, fret 11. And there's actually something pretty cool here. So the A flat minor scale we can play here as well. So if you've watched the pentatonic breakdown, you'd know that we have here a blue note. But in this way, what we do is we take these 3 chromatic notes with the blue note and take everything a half step forward. So we're left with this. Now, why does this work? Well, these 2 notes are in the minor scale, and the pentatonic scale is a scale that sits inside the minor scale. So we can use the blue note as well in the minor scale, which basically means that we can play 4 chromatic notes in the minor scale. All these, and that's exactly what we do here. Take this scale and move it right here where we start the lick. So we start just as we said. And when we go back, we change it up a bit. So we play this. And these 3 notes are the same 3 notes that we play using the pentatonic method. And this gives us a bit more wiggle room for expression, which is always nice. Alright, the next 2 are more interesting, let's get to it. Who said your chromatic notes need to be on the same string? This way uses techniques that I already talked about in a past video, check it right here. I think it's technique number 2. But anyway, now we modify this technique a bit and use it with string skipping as well. So if so far we've only played this on strings 3 and 2, now we can play on string 3 and 1. or any other pair of strings you want really. So now all we do is take these chromatic notes and maneuvers, move them up an octave, and string skip using this technique. So the first example of string skipping in this lick is this. And all we do is take this note, which is the blue note, and this note, which is a half step behind it, and move them up an octave. And this continues on. So the next example is exactly the same. Next we have this maneuver, which now the string skipping is a bit different. We managed to string skip here due to the hummers and pull-offs that we utilize. So let's take a closer look. So we play this, and this hummer gives us so much time to string skip with our right hand. So we end up playing this. Now that's a beautiful sound. And again, this note is this note. So yeah, we basically modified one of the techniques we learned and applied it to our needs. This one definitely has a unique sound to it. Questions why? Okay, so we have our pentatonic. We have our minor scale. What else can we add? Well, actually a lot of things, but what I like the most, the harmonic minor. The harmonic minor is actually extremely simple. We take the natural minor, which is the minor we usually play, and change one note, the 7th note. And this is the harmonic minor. And you can do so many things with the harmonic minor. It's used all the time in all types of music. And what this harmonic minor gives us is this major 7. It's a major 7 because we took the 7th note in the natural minor and raised it by a half step. So from a minor 7, it became a major 7. And this major 7 gives us so much tension that you feel like you have to solve it. So for example, if I play this and won't play this, you'll send me hate messages to my email. And that's all because of the tension the major 7 gives us. In musical terms, that's called a leading tone. So now look at all the notes we can work with. So my best tip for you to learn how to use these chromatic maneuvers would be to add these notes as passing notes. Notes that you don't land on for a long period of time. But once you get used to them and learn how they feel and sound, you'll be able to use them however you want. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, hate messages, feel free to comment down below. Tab for these licks, other exercises, everything's in my Patreon. So go check that out. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you in the next one.